Hi, writing clear emails. Here are the 7 C's of communication, or the parameters which should be there in emails. These 7 C's are clear, concise, concrete, correct, consideration, complete, courteous. Let us cover each C with actual examples. First, clear. Most professionals don't struggle with writing. They struggle with being understood. Clear means when writing or speaking to someone, be clear about your goal or message. Let us do one activity. One word will appear on each slide. You have to quickly tell the color of the text. Now, try to decode this. Key takeaway. It takes time for brain to process information. Hence, keep it simple to avoid confusion. If you want to show off, you can use tougher vocabulary. But if you want your message to actually be understood, try to keep it as simple as possible. Also, try to minimize the number of ideas in a sentence. Lengthier sentences have more chances of confusion. Now let's look at the difference. In the amateur version, the message is filled with soft language. I was reaching out because I thought it might be beneficial if we potentially pivoted our current strategy regarding the Q3 deliverables to ensure we are aligned with the overarching vision. The real suggestion is hidden under unnecessary words. In the professional version, the message is direct. I suggest we update our Q3 goals to match the new company vision. Do you agree? Clear. Actionable, respectful. Next, in the messy feedback version, regarding the feedback on the draft, it's not that I think the changes you made aren't good, but I'm concerned that if we implement them now, the original goal we discussed might be misinterpreted by the client. Here, the receiver has to decode what the actual problem is. In the executive version, the message is simple, like the new draft is strong, but it shifts away from the client's original goal. Balanced, honest, clear. Now look at policy communication. In the messy version, I know we usually allow expenses for travel, but because this was a local trip, I'm not sure the usual rules apply, although I can check if you think you really need to be reimbursed for it. Here, the message circles around the decision. It talks about rules, exceptions, and uncertainty, but never clearly states the policy. In the executive version, clarity comes first. Local travel expenses are typically not reimbursed. Please let me know if there are exceptional circumstances I should review. Simple, direct, professional, that's executive presence. Next, various delivery styles in communication. Before we could come on this topic and these styles, let me give a scenario first. Someone asks me, "What is your favorite color?" I say, "I am a very simple person. I have a very simple lifestyle. Everything is so simple in my life." The person in front of me creates the impression that I would say white, but I say lemon. Now, what is happening is that the person would have already created an image in their mind of the white color. Now, changing it at the last minute and correlating again with new information becomes difficult and might a bit distort the message. This is called as cognitive friction. That's why delivery structure matters. Now, let us come on these 3 delivery styles. There are 3 common ways to structure information. First image is, you tell your answer at the very beginning, then elaborate, and finally summarize it again. This is also called as BLUF. Bottom line, upfront. This is the most powerful and most used style in corporate communication. Example, manager asks, "Should we approve this vendor?" Response, "Yes, we should approve this vendor. They offer 15% cost savings and faster delivery timelines. Based on these advantages, I recommend proceeding." Second image is, similar to the first one. You tell your answer at the very beginning, then elaborate. The only difference between the first style and the second style is that you don't have much time in the second style. Otherwise, both are the same. Usually, people have restricted time. So, most of the time, it will be the second style over the first style. Third style, here, you elaborate first and then tell the main point. Where can this create a good impact? You will usually see this in marketing, but in corporate, it can frustrate busy managers. But if your manager asked about some work and you haven't completed it, which technique will be better for you? Just kidding, you already know the answer. Use style 2. Say it clearly. The report is not complete yet. I need one more day due to pending data. Not, I was working on it and then I had some issues and finance didn't send the numbers. When you delay the main message, especially bad news, it signals discomfort. When you say it up front, it signals maturity. Managers don't get upset by incomplete work as much as they get frustrated by unclear communication. Let's look at 2 common workplace situations. First, a client asks if you can deliver a project 2 days early. You cannot. In the delayed answer version, "Hi Mark, I received your request about moving the deadline up. I spoke with the design team and the developers to see if we could shuffle some tasks around. We looked at the current sprint and realized that since we are still waiting on the API credentials from your IT department, the workload is actually quite heavy this week. Because of these factors and the current resource constraints, we won't be able to finish 2 days early." The problem. The reader has to scan through 60 words of excuses before they get the no. This wastes executive bandwidth. Now look at the BLUF version, bottom line up front. "Hi, Mark. We cannot move the deadline up by 2 days. To maintain quality, we must stick to the original schedule. The main bottleneck is the pending API credentials from your IT team. Once those are received, we will ensure we stay on track for the original date." Why it works. The answer is in the very first sentence. The why follows for those who want the detail. That is executive presence. Next scenario. Your manager asks if the Q3 budget is finalized. In the Logic Maze version, I've been looking into the various department spends and comparing them to last year's performance. There were some discrepancies in the marketing spend that I had to clear up with Sarah, and finance just sent over the new tax adjustment figures this morning. After I integrate those new numbers and double check the formulas, the Q3 budget will be ready by 5 p.m. today. The problem. The manager doesn't care about the discrepancies or formulas yet. They just want to know when it will be ready. The BLUF version starts with subject, status, Q3, budget finalized by 5 p.m. Hi team, the Q3 budget will be finalized and sent by 5 p.m. today. I'm currently integrating the final tax adjustments received from finance this morning. No further action is needed from your side. Why it works. Even if the manager only reads the subject line, they have the answer. This is called high signal communication. Key takeaway. Don't make your audience search for your point. Tell purpose in beginning.